Hey, somebody's already on it. Hey. What is going on? What is going on? Thank you so much. We're gonna start off with the like, click, and share since that was the first thing we saw. We really appreciate you sharing this live if you have not done so. If you feel the need to or would accept the request, please share the live as we continue to grow our audience and continue to do things that are meaningful on Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Hump day. Amen. Trying to get the week over. So, welcome to the K and J Show, Real Talk with K and J. I am Jay, aka the Dog,
and I am Kay, aka Cat.
All right, and we're at it again. Hey, we're at it again. Another week, another topic. Let's get it crunk. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. So today's topic, or this week's topic, whichever one fancies you, is don't rush. Time will tell. So previous lives, we've talked about getting ourselves prepared. We've talked about doing the work that we need to do. Some of us laughed, cried, did self-reflection. We've overcome now. We made it. We're in the dating phase, right? Wherever that is that you are in that phase. And one of the things that, good evening, is Justin was going on. Hey, you came up this time.
Hey.
Yes. Prayer hands, right? Praise hands. You made it. Don't be in a hurry, right? Because a lot of people, their time clock is ticking. And some people believe if I don't get married by 35, if I don't get married by 43, if I don't get married, whatever that mythical age is for you, that I won't get married. So if I get somebody, I got to get it done. No, what you need to do is don't rush. Don't rush. Let the dating scene take its course. In that process of dating, many questions will be answered. And unfortunately, sometimes many questions will arise throughout that dating process, right? This is kind of a tie-in to that question when they say, how do I know he's the one? Well, you date, you talk, you communicate, you go out, you have dinners, you text, you talk, you bowl, you whatever it is that you do. At this point, you may be going to the club with your mate. That's okay too. But you're now starting to share a little more time than you did in previous days. And now you're really starting to learn mannerisms, habits. Thank you, Jocelyn. Mannerisms, happiness. I mean, not happiness. Things that people do, Mama Cat and Dog. Many things that people do. What you want to do is make sure that you covered everything, right? And then in the dating process, you let that process work out because that process is what you're going back to school. Peace, happy Friday. You're going back to school. You're learning your mate. You're learning the ins and outs. You're learning things that you may decide that you don't like, but can you put up with? So this is a process of, we've all had that conversation about the toilet seat up, the toilet seat down. Which way does the toilet paper turn? Do you pull it from the back? Do you pull it from the front? All of these things you start to learn in this process. And this process then starts to let you discover or make some more educated decisions around, do I pursue this? Do I keep going? Or do we need to stop, look at these red flags and figure out maybe this is not going to work for
me? Yeah, we had the conversation. And it's in the don't rush, time will tell. It's one of those things where, like you said, some people are on a time clock, or they have put themselves on a time clock as to when certain events in their life they want to have taken place, or they think should have taken place by a certain time in their life. And I think sometimes we can use that, and for goals, that can be a good thing to push you to, okay, there are some things that I need to accomplish, or there's some things that I want to accomplish. But also, in the same sense, some people that you will meet in your life, they don't want you to rush because they aren't ready. So how do you approach that? Do you approach that as, I'm on my own time, doing my own thing on my own clock, and my clock is set the way I set it, and you meet somebody that doesn't necessarily want you to move along? Or do you say, okay, I don't have any more time to waste? Like I said, some people that you meet along the way, they don't necessarily want you to move forward. They kind of want you to stay where you are. Some people are okay with you in your comfort zone. People are okay with you not making advances in your life. Some people are okay with you just being right where they're comfortable with you at. Is that when you have the conversation to say, this is my timeline. These are the things that I have planned for me. And is this the place where you figure out that that's not the person for you? Or do you figure out that I don't have the time, so it is a rush? I need you to come along with me, or I need to let you go. So in the don't rush, take your time, you have to make sure that you understand, in the not rushing. Let's see what to say about it.
Some people are meant to be with you for a season.
Absolutely. And they don't want you to rush anything, because they're okay with being with you in that that season is beneficial to them. They don't necessarily look at it from your perspective, the things that you have planned, the course that you have set for your life. They don't see that part of it. They don't see the work that you've put into it. They see that this is benefiting them in this season. So they don't want you to rush. They want you to stay stuck. They want you to be okay with whatever it is that we're doing right now. We're at this, things are good. What people say, when it's going good, don't mess with it, don't shake it up or whatever. But it's stagnant. It's staying the same in this season. Nothing has changed. You haven't done anything that you had planned for your life. You haven't done, you haven't made anything to make an advancement, to move forward. So they're okay with you not rushing. I think the don't rush thing is something that you have to take personal, and you have to put your own personal spin on it. It's like, okay, I don't want to rush this. I want to take my time with this because I want it to be this way. That's the only reason I'm not rushing it, is because I want it to be this way. But you have a conversation that you have to have. You can't allow people to slow you down when you want to move fast, or when you want to move in a different direction. Some people are like, hold on, why are you doing such and such? And you have to have those answers for yourself. That's why my take is always to make sure that you're good with yourself. Make sure you taking care of yourself. Make sure you have things in line for you, that other people can't push you off of your plan, because they're okay with you in the season that they're with you in right now. That's the conversation that we had a little while ago.
Yeah, okay. I can see the season.
Yeah.
And there are some people who they're okay where they are. Right? We're having fun. This works. Me and Jocelyn are always out on Friday night. But that's all I want. So then that's not the person that we're trying to create this relationship with, right? So she is right. You need to know, you can definitely block your blessings, and it's hurtful to say to stay stuck. It is.
I agree 100%.
So here's what the conversation in this don't rush piece, as I started at first. This is the time that you have these conversations. These are not first date questions, right? This is not first date where you see yourself in 5 years. This is not first date question. Now we're in this mode where these questions are legitimate questions, right? Do you see yourself still in Alabama all your life? Have you ever thought about moving? Like goal-minded people should be in a relationship with minded people, so both can move forward together. Exactly. But the only way to know that is to go through this phase and learn and have conversation. Learn and have conversation. A lot of times we get caught up in what he has, what she has, what I get, what she gets. And of course, the thing that really, 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 really blurs the water is when you have sexual relations and you enjoy it. And sometimes having sexual relations speeds up your clock because then you're not thinking of a sound judgment at that point. That's when feelings and souls and juices and of all emotions have all been mixed. At this point, we're saying take the opportunity to know your mate through the dating phase, through the going out, through the having dinner, through enjoying the party. In other words, the question should be asked, why are you sitting in the couch if you don't belong here? Yeah, and the chair is for someone else. That's a perfect example of, but there was something that finally got you to that point. If you were rushing and just trying to get to the finish line, sometimes you miss those keys, you miss those cues. The tortoise and the hare. You know, you can be swift, no juices on the knees. Sometimes that confuses you. Sometimes that changes your train of thought, where we're thinking long term and we're using our mind. Sometimes having sexual intercourse just takes you to a whole emotional piece, right? And then we don't think rational, or we don't have rational opinions, or we don't take rational steps. Hey, case in point. You know, we use an example. Correct. Sex get in the way of judgment.
It does.
It does. It clouds it. Oh, that's real. It is real. Don't get me wrong now. Everybody wants good sex. Well, let me take that back. A lot of people will say they want great sex. But in the terms and the conditions of building a relationship to see if he or she is one, that is but a factor. But that one factor takes you down, makes you go 40, makes you go 80 and a 40, right? You have to take the time and understand the simple things. What gets on your nerves about him or her? What happens? What is it that you don't like? Why does he always wear them Timberland boots? You know, there could be any kind of thing. But if you're not taking time and having conversations and being observant, then you find yourself completely moved in. I guess to have 5. Don't give me no mediocre nothing. Hey, well, if you got 5 and you can handle it and still think logically, you're good. Everything gets on my nerves. Oh my God, everything. Oh Jesus. Well, we may need to look at your nerves. When do you know when to be patient? Well, here's what we're saying. You're now in that phase. You're in the phase of figuring out, is this person long or not? Be mama. Yes, it does. You're in the phase of, I am exploring and understanding and trying to figure out, is this someone I can deal with? Some folks don't want to go through the full process. They expect it to be pop up like a Jack in the Box.
Microwave.
Sister, bro, you going to forever be single and jealous of others around you. Whoa.
Microwave situation. Give me crock pot.
You said a word.
Give me crock pot.
You know, if you're meeting me on Sunday, and then next Sunday you already picking up the kids and I'm dropping you off in your car while you're at work. See, we moved too fast. You went from person I just met to the whole of the relationship. You guys have jumped over into marriage on the other side. You didn't start at the M in marriage. You over there at the E, the end. The end. You got to build up, and we have to understand. We got to know your mate. You got to know your mate. Your mate might do some things or say some things that you need to question or get clarification on, right? So when we talk about established people and getting in relationships, they're trigger words, right? They're trigger words. Where do you want to move? Right now, I don't want to be married again, period. Okay. Needs to read these girls. Sometimes you got to do it. So they're trigger topics, trigger conversation, right? Number one, you gonna stay with your mama all the time? Trigger conversation.
Trigger. Every time you get mad.
Number two, every time we have a disagreement, you gonna run and break up? Being 25 years old, I'm just now realizing this. Also, building a relationship with self is first priority.
Baby.
Now, Leah.
I got you on that.
What I want you to do, Leah. What I want you to do is go back and look at some of those lies, because for the last month, we've been talking about getting yourself first. So this topic is the assumption that we have done all of the things, and now we're ready to move. But these trigger topics, right? So these are topics I call them trigger topics, but of course these should be topics that you should have questions about. Why is it that every time you get upset, we break up? I mean, man, you can't have a disagreement. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do another one. Let's talk about church and going to church. I love being married. And Tasha can only leave me by going in the other room.
Big fact. And I ain't gonna stay in there too long.
The old folks say waddling in your pity.
You can go in there, but you ain't gonna stay in the other room too long.
So if you don't have these conversations, how do we know? How do you know what people are doing? Right? Hey, I go to church. Are you a Methodist? Are you a Baptist? What are you? Conversations. What type of church service do you like to have? That's what are you good at? What do you see yourself in 5 years? Hey, if you're not having these conversations and you think the answers is just going to pop up, then you're wrong. This is what those building blocks or foundation for your relationship is. Because now you're starting to learn what he or she likes, what she or he is interested in, what he or she sees as in the future. My children are 13 and 15 years old, and I'm just doing no sex at all. Okay, all right. I'm just dating. Okay, my bad. I did that wrong. Do you attend church? Are you a demon spawn?
Hey, and those are legitimate questions to ask. And if you've been married or if you've been in a relationship and you've come out of all of that, like I said, we've had plenty of conversations. My stance on this is going to always be to do the self-work on yourself. When you are good, when you got yourself together and getting yourself, you can't rush in getting yourself together, because there are some things, like I said, that we need to deal with from our past. There are some pains and some traumas that we need to heal from our past. And like we were talking about last week, it's not necessary to always be with somebody. That doesn't make you less of anything or anybody if you are not with somebody. In that time, in your singleness, in that before you start dating, make sure that you are together. Take the time. If you need to go see a therapist, if you need to see a psychiatrist, if you need to talk to somebody, anybody, to make sure that you get your mental, your physical, and your spiritual self together. The thing is, how can you love somebody else and you don't love yourself? How can you treat somebody else good and you don't treat yourself good? Make sure that you have all of your stuff together. You expecting somebody else to make you happy and you don't even know what makes you happy. You expecting somebody else to give you something that you don't even have an idea about giving it to yourself. It's okay to date yourself. It's okay to take yourself out to dinner. It's okay to take yourself to a movie. It's okay to get your mental and your physical together. That should not be a rushed process, because that's going to end up, if you don't take care of you, if you don't get you together, then that's going to land you in situation after situation, in hurt after hurt, and you're not going to understand why. But you didn't deal with the things that the past relationship ended. Maybe, I mean, whatever it was, we all have a part in everything that goes on in our life. They did what they did, you did what you did, whatever. You have to heal from those things before you move on to somebody else. Because eventually, the things that you don't heal from, they will show back up in your life in some shape or form. So it's number one is to always, always take care of yourself. If that means go sit yourself down by yourself, go sit yourself down by yourself. Get your mental together. Get your physical together. You know, if you like, I need to get my life together, period. Eat better, work out, do whatever it is that you need to do for you. But you have to understand that you cannot expect somebody else to do for you what you don't do for yourself. You don't take care of yourself, but you expect somebody else to make you happy. You don't take care of yourself.
What's going on, D?
Hey, you don't, but you expect for somebody else to give you all of the things that you don't even give to yourself. You are the number one priority in your life. If you're not, then that's a problem. Take time for you, a relationship. You will attract all of those things that you won't need and desire when you are together. When you get your mental together and understand the things that you need, understand the things that you want, understand the things that make you happy, understand what you have to give to somebody else, understand what it feels like for somebody to pour into you and you pour into them, and y'all on the same playing field. Understand what it is for somebody to have your back and you have theirs. Understand those type of things for yourself. When you get yourself together, then the other person has no choice. We don't accept less. Why would I accept less than what I can do for myself? But we don't do anything for ourselves sometimes, and we expect somebody else to do it all. How is that fair to somebody else?
It's not. In fixing yourself, let me stress your whole self.
Absolutely.
Not just certain parts of yourself.
You're cute on the outside and ugly on the inside.
Not just because you upgraded your physical attributes does not mean that you're ready. Because we objectify women sometimes, and men, you know, in the day and the age of the butts and the breastises and the what's some things that you told me I can't wear? Oh, the gray warm-ups, the sweatpants. In the day and age of those things, you can get caught up in objects. You get caught up in things that look great on the outside, whether they're surgically implanted or altered, or they were God-given. Right? I've done it, so I can speak from experience. I dated a woman, dated loosely. But if I tell you that it took her 15 minutes to get ready to get into bed, I'm lying. I'm dying. Like between the lace front, between the eyelashes, between all the other things, and I'm not gonna get all into it. Then it was just too much. So then you're there kind of trying to realize it. Man, who have I been talking to the whole time? Don't get caught up in the objects. Don't get caught up in the physical attributes, because they may be there and they may not be there. What you need to get caught up in is that spirit, the breast, and the print. Don't let that stuff fool you. Don't do it. I said it. Don't fool you. And now, again, I am not complaining. I understand that ladies don't like themselves sometimes, and that is a little part of enhancement because it then helps them mentally feel better about themselves. I never had breasts. I've never had a behind. My lips are not full. Whatever that is, I get it. It's not the process that they went through, it's the process that you're going through. Am I looking at the person, or did I get mesmerized by the gray sweatpants? That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want you to remember when you're moving forward, is stay focused. I think somebody said mind, body, and mental. Spiritual, stay focused. What was that movie that the girl took off her lashes? It's been a couple of movies. I'm gonna get you, sucker. There it is. If you don't take me when I am looking like what did that girl say? A troll, baby. You can't handle me when I'm all made up. So here's the thing. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget, people, that it's a process. It's a process. And that process is about learning who you are. That process is about learning who he or she is. Or what happens, because many of us on here, y'all on live, you're live, you won't tell the truth. How many of us said in a relationship when the relationship ended, I didn't know that. I didn't see that coming. I never would have thought he or she would have done that. Did you do your homework? Did you take this time? Did you not rush? Did you look for the warning signs? Did you ask the right question? Right? From my view, my point is assuming that you've taken care of you. And now we're out and we're moving. To Kat's point, she's saying the same thing, but she's saying before you get out there and move around, make sure your shit don't stink. Make sure that you're together. You can't be in a 4-cylinder car and want to date everybody that drive 8 cylinders or 12 cylinders, because we see things totally different. When I move faster because I got more horsepower. The people that I hang around might not be the people that you hang around. Take your people out. See what they're about. Have conversation. Talk. Go places. Do things. Hey, that measuring stick. That measuring stick is something else now. The measuring stick of when y'all had that 2-day weekend or that 3-day weekend and you go somewhere. Mz Bee interview techniques with extensive background checks.
And that's basically what it is. And we appreciate her teaching us. It's an interview. When you're dating, it's kind of like an interview. You're gaining stuff that you need to know, but you need to be sure that you're asking the right questions. Sometimes we get afraid to ask questions because we're not sure. We're already not sure of the situation, but we're afraid to ask questions. If I can't ask you a question, then that's a red flag in the beginning. If you don't answer it, then that's something else to deal with at that moment. But if I'm not allowed to ask you things, and sometimes we pick up things through observations, but please don't assume anything. People will show you the best version of themselves while you're on a date. People will show you a representative of themselves while you're dating. People will give you those things that you gave to them while you're dating. The questions that they asked and you answered. We've had this conversation before. You gave them the roadmap to get what they wanted. You gave them the answers to all the questions. All they had to do was play the role for a little while to get what they want. Absolutely. And we've talked about sex can definitely cloud your judgment, especially if you've been, you haven't had any in a while. It will take you from trying to get to know somebody. So like you said, it'll take you to jumping into wife duties. He gave you some fire. Now you cooking and cleaning and all that, but you haven't had one conversation about what they're doing in next year, 5 years, what their plans are for their life, what their goals are. You haven't had any conversations. Sex make you jump over all of that stuff.
But you over there cooking and cleaning.
Sex will make you jump over all of that, and you have not had one meaningful, intentional conversation about, is this somebody that I can share my time with? Is this somebody that I'm willing to invest some things in? Is this somebody that I want in my space? Your judgment got clouded because it was fine. But it's at this time, at this place in your life where you have to be intentional about the moves on your life, the moves of your life. You have to have purpose for those. Now is the time to, hey, let me ask you something. However you need to ask, we need to have this conversation. Like we talked about, we see things differently. They can get us to the same result, but we're going to go about them in a different route because we see things differently. But we can have a conversation to say, okay, baby, I'm trying to get to F. My getting to F is going to be different than his getting to F. But if we both get to F and we're okay with the way that we got there, it's fine. But we have to have those conversations to say, hey, what you got going on? However you got what you got going on, or what do you have going on? What you got going on? We need to talk. We need to be intentional. We don't have time to waste. Like I said, some people are on a clock, on a biological clock, or whatever, however you have that set up for your life. But if you don't get to the place of taking care of yourself and looking out for yourself and asking questions that you need to know the answer to, not assuming anything, don't take anything. We take things personal. If that didn't work, then guess what? It wasn't meant for you. There is a time when things that are meant for you are gonna happen. It won't be a question. Because that's your time. When it's your time, we knew. It was like there was no way that we made anything happen, that it was just time for it to happen, because there was nothing we could do to stop it. But we had the conversations like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? If this is what we're gonna do, and if this is where we're gonna go, then how are we gonna make it happen? How are we going to make it happen? There has to be a plan. Somebody has to have a plan.
The answer is, I don't know what you think. That ain't the answer. I don't know what you think. Tasha, we going to move to Atlanta? I don't know what you think. And then Cliff said, jump in the truck. You got to have conversations, people. Here is where the work is done. You've done the work on you. Remember, my viewpoint is that you've done the work on you. But you still got work to do. Fellas, I love y'all. Cliff know it. I love y'all. I love you to death, Dante. But women, you want to know some man-busting questions? I'm going to give you some tea. I'm going to give you some tea. Wait a minute. I'm going to give you some apple juice. Wait a minute. Let me get ready. Ask a man if he got a bank account. Don't ask him what's in it. Ask him if he banks with a bank. Oh, you want to bust some balls and get some real answers? That's a grown question right there. Ms. B, are you with a banking institution? Sure, I bank with BB&T. That's how you want to know. But what you find out this day and age is, no, they don't. It's okay. Everybody ain't going to be rich. You might not be rich when you was dating. When you wasn't rich. You wasn't rich. You ain't rich now. But we'll keep working on it. Keep working on it. I'm ready to retire.
I'm ready to retire.
So ask questions that are meaningful, people. Do you own your car?
Do you have life insurance?
Is your mama lights in your name? Sometimes, people, we got to ask questions. And as Ms. B says in her interviewing techniques, I don't know why the men wasn't part of that, but that's okay. That's okay, Ms. B. That's all right. I see how you do. Sometimes, people, you just ask the question a second time, 2 or 3 days later. Because remember, We're giving you the best person that we are on that day. And we remember all the stuff you told us you wanted. I want a man that does this. I want a man that does that. I want a one. So we just regurgitate the answers. But wait a minute. Wait 2 or 3 days. And ask that same question. Not judging your partner for the way they handle things super deep. That's grown. Oh, wait a minute now. I'm just saying. Jocelyn is flying people to Mexico. Lord, does she have to buy the ticket? Or is he going to be able to buy his own ticket? You know a prepaid card doesn't count, sir. Prepaid card count. How long has he been in his place of employment? Oh, so tell it. Oh, and then this new one. You know, I get it. Because in the field, I learned this online banking, right? Chime and all of these things. Okay. Well, at least he's trying to have some kind of financial means of making this. Are your parents married? All right. That's enough grown questions.
Yeah, it's the thing that you have the right to ask. Like, especially if you're into what we call into being pursued, when you're in the pursuit of, those are things that are important to you, and those are the questions that you should be asking. Are the things that are important to you. So that lets me know: are we here? Are we here, or are we here? That's a guideline to, like, okay, this is about to be a whole nothing. This is about to be a whole nothing. And it's not, it's just that we don't have the time to waste. And I'm sure if if you're 35, 40 or older, you've dated plenty of people in your past. You've wasted enough time with people in your past. So at this stage in life, when you've got yourself together, those are intentional questions that are going to tell me something about my future. And I'm concerned about my future. So I need to know where you stand on banking, where you stand. Do you have life insurance? Do you those are things that are going to, be a crucial part of my future. So those are things that I need to know. So we just need to have those conversations. Whatever it is that you need to know. Like I said, don't assume anything. We assume stuff and get it all wrong.
What is your credit score? What is your debt to income? Girl, you sound like you you sound like you sound like you work for somebody I know.
If that's what you need to know, that those are things that are going to be important to your future. Those things go along with purchasing things for our future, in our future. If we need to purchase a house, we need to know how we're going to make that happen. If we need to do this, how are we going to, I need to know those things. And it has to be a two-way conversation.
And let me throw in something for Ms. B, because she said it got to be 5-5. Hey, in these conversations, people, Kat taught me how to buy a bag and a cute shoe and mind my business. to Mr. B, as much as we mess with Ms. B, she's right. There is a conversation about that 5-5 that has to be had, people. Okay? I don't think you start out with that as a conversation. But in your conversations, you gotta talk about it. You gotta have a little talk about sex. You gotta have a little salt and pepper. You better know a little salt and pepper, little talk about sex, little genuine, how's your pony? We gotta figure that stuff out. These are all questions. He or she might be into some stuff that you ain't quite ready for. Yeah. Or he or she just made, this is the way I was told it's supposed to be done. That's the only way I do it. Right? His mission is just the mission. He's only going to be the mission. He ain't going to do nothing else but the mission. Right? He ain't got no numbers. He don't know no alphabets. He not whine. He ain't counting to 6 or 9. He not doing any of that. Those are things that you need to know. So, strawberries. We gotta know. These are real conversations. Man need to ask you, the person for you, that you're displaying to me during intimacy, or are you just shooting a commercial?
Oh, wow.
Watch out. This boy here said, shooting a commercial. So you just in here for the moment, right? You know, commercials, commercials are the most expensive thing on TV.
15 seconds.
A 30-second blog, yeah, a 30-second commercial might cost you about $100,000. I need to know if you can read a full paragraph. Hey,
that right there.
People,
This
is all fun and games. But what this live is to do is to recall that and get you to remember, hey, these are tools. These are stuff that's in my little bag. These are ways to keep me on track with maybe being with the right person, right? Because I've had these conversations and I know these things, it's a difference, that people say it, but Walmart, Target, there's two different stores, two different prices. Stuff come from the same place, but y'all didn't hear that from them. Two different places, two different prices, right? Are you going to Target? Or are you going to Target? Are you at Chick-fil-A or are you at Chick-fil-A? It's all the same. You have to ask the question. How you like your number one? You want it with cheese? Yeah. With Chick-fil-A sauce? You want some fries?
I want the spicy deluxe.
You want the spicy deluxe with the lettuce, the tomato, and pepper jack cheese?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to figure that out. You got to. Come on, church. Well, anybody got a tambourine? I like when they in that church, they play that tambourine, boy. We got to get to a point to where you have to have these conversations, right? This keeps you from saying, I ain't know she was like that, dog. Me and Cliff, sitting around smoking a cigar, drinking apple juice. Man, I ain't know Tasha was like that, man. That hurt me deep, man. She cut me deep. I didn't know she was like that. I was $5 away from getting me a whole new truck, and she wouldn't even loan me $5. She was selfish. I didn't know that. Well, maybe we didn't ask the right question. Maybe you didn't take time. That's our tools that teach. Yeah, you can teach your daughter. She is 16, but I don't think I actually know that she actually don't have a date. The learning and paying whole attention.
Oh, we understand.
Honey, we got a 16-year-old too.
Oh, we understand.
Everybody's fine at 16. Everybody's fine. I asked my daughter one time, I said, is he fine because he had on a pair of clean Jordan? The other boy was fine too. Wait a minute, you keep looking at his feet.
But it's things that we have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we said so many times in the past. The things that we learned from the mistakes that we made, the things that we learned from the hurt and the pain. There should have been something that was taken from that. Something that when you're doing the work on yourself, it's a conversation that you have with you. It's the questions that you ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to ask yourself, how did I get here? And the answer ain't that it's always somebody else's fault. The answer a lot of time is that it's our own fault. It's the choices that we made. It's the things that we ignored. It's the things that we just plain didn't ask. Mm-hmm. The things that we didn't inquire about. Mm-hmm. The things that we left out. The things that we overlooked because he or she was fine. Because the sex was fine. That's how you got here. You got here because of the choices that you made. The things that we go through aren't always somebody else's fault. And that's the thing. Take responsibility, take accountability, and fix it. If you don't fix it, then you're going to be in the same situation again. And we neglect to fix it. We push it under the rug like, okay, you're going to go meet somebody else. You're going to go out this weekend and somebody going to buy you a drink and and there you go with somebody else. Mm-hmm. It's going to be just that simple because you haven't taken the time to fix the things that got you in the situation that you say you don't want to be in. And if you don't want to be in it, then you have to do something about it. And that requires putting in some work. To be in a relationship is work. It requires putting in some work. You got to do some asking, some investigating, some taking out, some going play. It's an action. It's an action. You gotta do some things. You can't just sit back and wait on things to happen. You can't just sit back and say, "Oh, it'll be okay," or "Oh, It's an action. You gotta do something. A relationship is work. Marriage is definitely work. It's a verb. It's a verb. You gotta do something. You gotta put in some time and some effort, and you gotta be willing to do some things. You gotta compromise and sacrifice, and you gotta do some things, but make sure that you've done all the things for you that will make those things easy. It's a transition. It should be a transition. It shouldn't be a stop and go or here and there and only after midnight and over here only on Friday, and you can't come over here till 2. It shouldn't be that. It should be an easy transition. We've met, we've conversated, we've dated, we've asked all these questions. Now we've made a decision that at this point right here that we are right now, I'm okay with us moving forward if this is where we are. Not I'm moving forward by myself. A relationship requires two people. I can't be all in and you halfway in or you almost out. A relationship requires two people. And it should be two people that are on the same page. Two people that have got an understanding. Two people that have asked the questions of each other. And we're okay with, where we going now? Where we going now? That's the space that you should be in. Moving, doing. It's an action. You can't sit back and just wait on it and be like, "Oh, okay, it'll be fine. It'll be all right." Oh, no. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about my mental. I'm talking about my future. I'm talking about my space. I'm talking about the things that are important to me. And if we're going to have a future together, then it has to be the things that are important to us. That's when we leave. There's no I in team. If we decide that we are going to move forward, then that's we. That's us. That's me and you. Not just me or you. Me or you moving forward, that's not going to work. It's me and you. So have the conversations, ask the questions, make sure you're intentional with the things you ask, the things that are gonna make you feel easy, that are gonna put your mind at rest. Some things that you're not gonna have to worry about, things that you're not gonna have to keep questioning. Ask those questions and get those answers. Get that clarity for the things that you're not gonna have to keep questioning.
And don't settle for what everybody else did. Accept the truth that is given. Let that person know who you are, know how you feel about the subjects discussed.
Absolutely.
Don't settle.
Absolutely.
Don't settle. We were talking and she was talking and I thought about the name Keisha. People that are in my circle know I talk about the name Keisha all the time because Keisha is the most famous name in hip hop culture, right? If you Google how many times the name Keisha is in a rap song and how many times they talk about Keisha, I've kind of started to listen to all of those songs just because I'm a music head. Not one of those songs Keisha did anything good. Keisha had some good sex. Keisha did some good stuff under the sheets, but nobody's rapping or singing about the good stuff that Keisha did. Keisha didn't become nobody's wife. Yeah, she wasn't in a long-term relationship. And I'm not saying that every relationship ends up in a marriage. Kiki. Hey, Kiki's another. We got to do what I've got to do. When is the book coming out? Hey, we got an author on our team now. One of the things that I want to do is don't get settled. Don't settle. Don't you stop your progression because the person that you're with is not progressing. Okay, we're going to slow that one down. Yeah, I believe that's a chilling. Don't stop your progression because the person that you were in a relationship with does not want to progress. You just have to keep progressing by your goddamn self. Warm up the plane and send them to well. Sometime we got to figure that out, people. As men, I get it. We supposed to be the breadwinners. We take care of our woman. We do all of these. But sometimes you realize that the person that you're taking care of don't appreciate all that or can't appreciate that because she never had that. Now that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole bunch of more questions. Is she able to receive what I'm bringing to the table?
Where's the reciprocity?
Yes. Is she ready to do that? Lauren Hill, come on now.
Where's the reciprocity?
Nobody, they didn't know what the word was. She said it. They in the club singing reciprocity, couldn't spell it, didn't know a definition. Anyway, that's just me. You got to be able to receive what you asked for. Keisha was the commercial. You got to be able to receive what you asked for. Jay Lacy said it, chapter 6, verse 12. If you're not ready to receive what you ask for, people, then what you don't. Now, I need me a strong woman that didn't twist her neck and all that kind of stuff. Got a strong woman that twists her neck still. But the point is, are you able to receive the gift that is being presented to you? Hey, that takes some work, people. That takes some conversation. And I'm still of the mindset, if y'all are arguing because the toilet seat up and down, way the toilet roll is, I think it's a whole lot of other things that come before having that kind of argument. You know, men fall into that all the time because the treatment is foreign to those who have never had. See, look here, you're gonna make us have to fight on this live here clip. You're gonna have to make us fight. You know, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. We gotta get to the first part. The first part is, yeah, if you have never seen a man that's trying to court you, date you, show you what he feels he needs to show you because you want to be number one and he wants you to be number one, and you don't know how to accept that. But that's what you ask for every night. That's what you ask for when you're singing the Beyonce songs. I'm just saying I'm a smoker cigarette. I ain't scared of y'all. I'm gonna say it.
But it is that you definitely have to be ready for those things, because if you run into what is it, Ms. B? A main, a M-A-Y-N-E, a main is, and be understanding that of how you need to be loved. You have to know how you need to be loved. That right there. You run into one of them right there, you're gonna learn a thing or two. Understand how you need to be loved. It was in the beginning of us, like I said, y'all, for y'all of us that, you know, y'all that's been following us for a while, y'all understand. In the beginning, we had the rough stretch. We had the rough stretch. And it was because I wanted to love him the way I wanted to love him, not the way that he needed to be loved. He needed something different from me at that time, but I wanted to give him what I wanted to give him before we had the conversation. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm not going to do. Not understanding that I'm trying to love him in the way that I want to love him. Like you should be okay with me doing this, and I'm doing this, and why you don't, I was that in the beginning. I'm doing this. I told you I got you. I was that in the beginning, but we never had the conversation of what he needed to be loved correctly. We didn't have that, it took that, like, okay, I don't understand what's going on right here. Okay, we need to talk about this, because I'm giving you my love. Like, I'm giving you my love.
Keep going all out.
I'm giving you my love, but that wasn't what he needed, and that wasn't the way he needed to be loved. But I didn't understand that, and it took a conversation for me to understand that. He had to put the brakes on me a couple of times, because I'm here for you. I got you. Yeah, yeah, Jocelyn, me. But I had to understand that I had to take a moment.
She said you had to learn how not to be a wife, but be his wife.
Exactly, because that's our thing. I'm somebody's wife. That was my stance in the beginning. But I had to learn how to love him in the way that he needed to be loved. And there were some things that we had to talk about that I didn't understand. But then that led us to the conversation of the things from the past that I need to deal with, or that I'm dealing with, or that I have dealt with, that this is what I need from you right now. Right now, I just need you to be right here by my side. I just need you to hug me. I just need, I'm trying to do the big things. And that wasn't what he needed at that time. The big things come later. At that time, especially when you're coming out of something, when you're dealing with the stuff that, that you have came out of. At this moment, I just need to know that you're here. I just need to know that I can talk to you. I just need to know that I can open up. I just need to know that you can hug me, and I just need those things at this moment. I don't need all the extras right now. We'll get there. But this is what I need right now. And it took me, like I said, it took a conversation, but he had to tell me, hold on.
I see you trying.
Yeah. And we had to talk about it, because I'm frustrated. Like, I'm trying to love you. I'm trying to be that one for you. I'm trying. But that wasn't where he was at that time. So it wasn't being received the way I thought it should be received. And I'm like,
I acknowledge your effort. I did. I acknowledged her effort.
Yeah.
So to give you an analogy or kind of an idea, there was probably nothing that I didn't have when I met her. Like, literally nothing. So in our relationship, I didn't need anything. I didn't need the gifts. I didn't need the watches. I didn't need the cologne. Lord, no, I didn't need the cologne. Right? I'm about $250 in. I don't need that. I'm about 75 watches in. I don't need that. I got shoes. I could probably wear a different pair of shoes for a month. I didn't need that. What I needed was the simple things, right? Conversation. Can we talk? Can I get some things off my chest? And you have the ability to digest that. Digest, not judge. Come on, Ms. B. Digest that, not judge. Because that's where a lot of problems come in, is that people are sharing things with you and you decide to judge them. It's not there for you to judge. It's there for you to digest. It's there for you to have some kind of understanding. If I am sharing my problems and my issues, I don't need you to judge me. Now, if you have some expertise, meaning that you have had some of those problems, then by all means chime in and let me know how you got over that too. It was just the point where we had to have a conversation around what was needed. And there's plenty of time for you to buy whatever you want to buy, gift whatever you want to give, cook whatever you want to cook. But right now, this is what I need. So again, by no means am I saying I taught her how to love me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we just had to narrow that thing down and find out what road we wanted to travel down together. No, this is why people don't feel free to talk comfortably, because judgment comes first. Of course, I tell you something, you say, oh, you let her do that to you. Don't judge. At that particular point in my life, I ain't know no better. In that particular point in time, I thought it was important. But now, right now, hey, conversation is what I need. So the ability to talk with your mate, but you only get there. We don't ask for much. It comes complicated when a person's trying too hard. The simple things bring me down. That's it right there. Man, what you just said. All the way from Memphis, man.
Recap.
So today we're going on recaps. Jaye Lations, what is that? 3-in-1? Learn and have conversation. K-Lations. Stop expecting others to do for you what you aren't willing to do for yourself. Jaye-Lations. Ask them grown man questions. Do you have a bank account? Do you own a car? Is your lights in your mama's name? She had a grammatical error. K-Lations. Don't allow sex to cloud your judgment.
That's fine to do it every time.
Don't stop your progression because the person that you're with stop progressing. A relationship is work. You have to put in the work. In conversation, digest, not judge. Boy, that right there is, I'm talking about, that is it right there. The uncomfortable conversations will take you far in all relationships. Yes, it will.
Yes.
But you learn everything. Sometimes that's what us men need. What you say? Yep.
You have to be uncomfortable.
We love a good fight.
You have to be uncomfortable because if everything feels good, then that's when your judgment is clouded. Everything ain't gonna feel good. Cliff and Tasha been married forever. You know, it's like there are uncomfortable moments in your marriage. Like I said, he can go in the other room, but he's not gonna stay in there long. There are still, things that are gonna come up, but you have to make sure that you're on the same page and you're willing to put in the work to stop those things where they are, address those things, and keep it moving. There are being uncomfortable. Like, everything is not gonna be fun, especially when you're dating. You have to be uncomfortable, be intentional in that. You will find out if this is the person for you. You will find out if this is a waste of time. You will find out a lot of things when it will take you so far to be like, okay, I don't feel this. Okay, I don't like the way he answered that, or I don't like the way they move over here, move over there. So if you're not, if you're uncomfortable in those type of things, those are your answers. Baby, we have intuition. We have intuition. We have things that tell us, hold up, baby girl, hold up. This is not that. But once we talk, like I said, that fire can make you lose your inhibitions, lose your ability to make sound decisions. You get caught up in the moment. You get caught up in the light. You get caught up in all the good stuff that's going on. But eventually there are going to be road bumps in the road. There are going to be speed bumps in the road where you're going to have to slow down and take a look.
Intuition, yes.
Baby, we got it. We got it. You're going to have to slow down and look at things, look at the whole picture. Not look at that they just got good sex. Not look at it that they just drive a nice car. Not look at this little piece over here. Look at this little. You got to look at the whole picture. When we talk about that puzzle, that you got to make sure all the pieces fit together to get the whole picture. If one piece is missing, then you ain't got the whole picture. Make sure all the pieces of your puzzle fit together so that you can see the entire picture.
Looking at him like a deer in headlights. Ain't no other room unless you fixing us food to eat while we hash this out.
Right. While you in the kitchen, we talking. Exactly. Hey. But we have to make sure that we don't allow those moments to become.
The work has to be consistent, even in disagreement. Our eyes might be caught like a pistol, but our love is consistent.
Yes, Cliff. Thank you very much.
Step back and look at the whole picture.
Look at the whole picture.
Hey, remember, a puzzle don't mean a thing if you don't have all the pieces.
It's not complete.
It's not complete. If you're missing one piece, it's not a puzzle.
It's not complete. We
got to get there, people. These are hard conversations. Okay. We make light of some of these topics. I think Ms. B, the recaps are really driving this home. It's really making a world of difference because we do joke a lot. We have fun. And that is what this is. This is real talk. This is not scripted. Nothing. Well, it's always something in my hands, but nothing. It is not scripted. We don't practice this.
We come up with the topic when we get home.
I can tell you, Ms. B can attest. We send her the topic for the discussion Wednesday by 5:30. We try to shoot to do that. So we don't have time to script. I want people to understand that this is real talk. This is real interaction. This is our lives. This is what we go through. This is our history. This is our advice. These are the things that we learn. And we're just sharing it. And we're hoping that it's falling on ears that can receive it, and it's being shared to ears that need to hear. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how this works. You'd be surprised at, again, I can say it, and I say it respectfully. I did not know why we was doing the talk show. Miss B asked, and I looked at Trina, and if it had been anybody else, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have done it. But here we are, 2 years, year and a half, going on 2 years.
Yeah, and for our new viewers, we really appreciate you. Like I said, this is us. This is our story. This is who we are. We have been doing this for over a year now, and over a year. But we have been doing this for over a year, and we share our story. We share, things that we feel that should be important to people when they're in situations or in things that we've been through, in things that we've overcome. We share, and we really appreciate you guys' feedback. We appreciate you guys sharing, your moments and asking your questions. We're definitely here for the questions. It's real talk. There's nothing off limit. If you've been around for a while, we've had conversations from A to Z. Nothing is off limits, but we share, our story, our views, and we really do appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, if there's something that you want to ask us to talk about, then we're here for that as well. Just shoot me a message to the page or whatever. And that's what we're here for. This has been a learning experience for us, for the people that, there are some people on here that are really, really close to us. We really appreciate you guys, some people that we've known for many, many years. We appreciate you guys, but it's just, in this day and age, we have to be intentional in our conversations with everybody that's involved in our lives. Even in being married, we have to be intentional in the conversations that we have with each other. And that's for, someone who is dating, someone who is divorced, someone who is, in whatever.
And a couple of other alphabets that
grown folks know about. We've had them conversations and we're okay with having them. This is the dog, we okay with having the conversations. So we really, really, ask you guys to share the live, like the page, share the page, tell somebody, bring somebody with you next week. We're here for it. It's been a great year and however long we've been doing this, and we really appreciate your support. We're looking to keep moving forward, keep banging out some new topics, some stuff that we feel that people don't ordinarily have conversations about, or that you might not have anybody to have the conversation with. We're definitely here to have it with you. So
the things that you do, there was a text on my phone. This text has been on my phone since 8:06. And it says, I'm not on Facebook yet, but I'm enjoying the message. This is what we're talking about. Spread the love. Spread the love. Appreciate you. Appreciate you following us, because we had a chance meeting. It was a great weekend. I love it. I do have one ask, though. I happened to look at our Facebook page, and we're inching up on that 1,000 mark. Well, we got 1,000 people that have liked the page, and we're getting close to that 1,000. So I'm gonna consistently ask you to like, click, and share. For me, it has nothing for Facebook, but for me, to have 1,000 people like the page is important. That means that we are getting and reaching people that we don't even know. Again, I know we have people in Nigeria, Spain. We have people watching this show all the time, and we get those little pop-ins where people say, hey, I've been watching you. Please share this with your friend. Have intentional conversation. Hey, if they don't like the page, it's all right. It's okay. We love it. We love what we do. Again, I'm always thank Ms. B for the platform and what she sent in us, because we didn't see it in ourselves. But that's what friendship is. And all of you are our friends. Matter of fact, all of you are our family, because we keep seeing you on Wednesday nights and you keep following us. With that, it's another hour, people. We only get an hour, and Ms. B is not on payroll, so we got to kind of honor her time too. So this is an hour. It's another Wednesday down. There may be some changes to the format coming up. On the Wednesdays, we'll talk to Ms. B and see what that looks like. She doesn't know yet, but we'll advise her later on. But we're not going anywhere. We're here. It's been Real Talk every Wednesday, 7:30 to 8:30.
Eastern Standard Time.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all of the outlets that Ms. B YouTube that we are on. And we appreciate what you do. We appreciate you joining in. We don't take this lightly. It's been Real Talk with Kay and Jay. I am Jay, aka the dog.
I am Kay, aka Cat.
And we love you, and we'll see you next week. Peace.